Alfie, do we have a listener question?
We sure do, Cleve. This is Benny in Grayson.
Okay.
And Benny writes it and says, what will happen to interest rates next year?
So I don't have a crystal ball, but I will tell you what Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they're the two largest purchasers of mortgages in the United States. They're actually U.S. government institutions. And they say that interest rates will end the year this year around 3.9%, and on average they will be 3.7% in 2020. Alfie, do you remember what we've talked about causes mortgage rates to go down? Do you even remember?
I would assume it'd be something with the economy. I would believe would be maybe a contributing factor.
I think you're exactly right. So 30-year mortgages are driven by the yield on the 10-year Treasury bond. And it's interesting, but the more economic and other uncertainty there is throughout the world, the lower the interest rate, the lower the yield, the less return investors are willing to take on a 10-year Treasury bill, and it causes mortgage rates to go down. So I believe that mortgage rates in 2020 will be lower than they are at the end of 2019. And in 2019, especially later in the year, they were almost a percentage point lower than they were at the beginning. Now I'm rounding up, so don't listen and send me hate mail and say it's only 0.75%. But the reality is interest rates are lower now than they were a year ago, and they're going to be yet lower, I believe, in 2020. Now, they also project that home sales will be just a little under 6 million this year, and they'll be over 6 million next year. They believe home prices nationally have grown 3.4% this year, 4.9% in 2018, 7.2% in 2017. They believe they'll grow 2.6% in 2020. And they believe the originations of mortgages will actually be lower next year than this year. But that's because, interest rates dropped almost 1%, and there was a ton of refinancing going on. Inventory levels, when is the sweet spot for inventory levels early next year? In other words, when is inventory going to be at its lowest, but yet buyers will still be out there in a large enough number to absorb the inventory? And the answer is December, January, and February. So if we look at it last year, and this is nationally, and these are from the National Association of Realtors, in September there were 4.3 months worth of inventory available nationally, which means, Alfie, if no new inventory came on the market, within 4.3 months, all of the inventory would be sold. In December, January, and February, those numbers went down to 3.9 months to 3.5 months. So there's less inventory available for sale, but yet there's still plenty of buyers. Now, March, April, and May, inventory explodes typically and goes from that 3.5 all the way up to 4.5 or 5 months worth of inventory. So if you're trying to time it and hit the sweet spot of the market, you might want to put your home on the market in December, January, or February, because you will have simply less competition out there available in the market.